A year later, Isabella held Emily in her arms, standing by the floor-to-ceiling window. Sunlight filtered through the sheer curtains, falling on the baby's light blonde curls, a strange bluish tint glowing in the light. It was Lucas's color, a shade unique to Nordic blood, nothing like Victor's black hair. Emily was only 10 months old, but she already had a thick head of hair. Her bright blue eyes were just like Lucas's, and when she smiled, the crinkles at the corners of her eyes were identical to his. Isabella unconsciously ran her fingers through that striking blue-tinged hair, gently brushing the baby's soft scalp. Her movements held a hint of panic. Every day, she checked Emily's hair, praying it would darken, just a little, enough to look like Victor's black hair. But every time, she saw that dazzling light blonde, a reminder of the secret she couldn't escape. That color. A cold voice came from behind her, making Isabella jump. She almost dropped the baby. Sophia wore a tailored black suit, her signature pearl necklace around her neck, and the diamond on her finger glinted coldly in the sun, like a knife ready to strike. She walked over to Isabella, her pearl-ringed finger lifting a strand of Emily's hair. Her touch was gentle, but her eyes were sharp as blades, seeing through all of Isabella's pretense. How unusual. I've never seen such light hair. The Rossi family has had black hair for 5 generations, you know? Isabella forced herself to stay calm, a stiff smile on her face. It's probably the light. The sun's so bright, it makes it look different. She pulled Emily closer, hiding that blue-tinged strand, as if guarding a secret that could be exposed at any moment. And baby's hair color changes. When she's older, it'll probably darken. She repeated what the doctor had said, but she knew it was just wishful thinking. She'd checked the research. A baby's hair color usually stabilizes after 6 months. Emily's hair would only get lighter, not darker. Sophia let out a sneer, her tone dripping with disbelief. Her nails glinted coldly in the sun as she ran them lightly over Emily's hair, as if inspecting an item. Is that so? I remember Victor's hair as a child, black as a raven's wing. Wouldn't fade, no matter how much he washed it. She paused, her gaze locking onto Isabella's face, sharp with suspicion. Does anyone on your side of the family have light hair? I've seen photos of your mother. Her hair was dark brown. Your father's was black too. Isabella's heart skipped a beat, cold sweat breaking out in her palms. She'd rehearsed this excuse countless times, but under Sophia's questioning, her words suddenly turned jumbled. My grandmother. My grandmother had light blonde hair when she was young. It darkened as she got older. The doctor said some children inherit traits from grandparents. Emily must be like that. She pinched herself hard as she spoke, making sure her voice didn't shake. This lie had been practiced over and over with Victor, but now it sounded so flimsy. Sophia said nothing. She just stared at Emily's hair, the doubt in her eyes growing stronger. Emily seemed to sense the tension. She suddenly started crying, waving her little hands. She almost grabbed Sophia's pearl necklace. Isabella felt a wave of relief. She turned quickly to grab the bottle next to the stroller. She must be hungry. I'll go make her formula. She wanted to escape Sophia's scrutiny, escape this suffocating conversation. No need. I already told Anna to make it. Sophia stopped her, her voice carrying an unyielding authority. Come here. I need to talk to you. She walked to the living room sofa and sat down, picking up the teacup Anna had just brought. She blew on it lightly, but didn't take a sip. Isabella held in her arms Emily, slowly walked to the sofa, and sat down. Her heart was racing like a rabbit's. She knew whatever Sophia was about to say wouldn't be easy. Bella, you're a smart woman. I've always admired that about you. Sophia set down her teacup, her gaze fixed on Isabella's face, a faint threat in her tone. The Rossi family's reputation is more important than anything. More important than your feelings, more important than mine, even more important than Emily's. Do you understand? Her voice was soft, but it hit Isabella's heart like a hammer. I understand, Mother. Isabella lowered her head, dared not meet Sophia's eyes. I've always been careful to protect the family's reputation. I've never done anything out of line. She was lying, weaving an even bigger lie to cover up the first one. Good. Sophia's fingers tapped lightly on the table. A knock-knock sounded like a countdown for Isabella. Old Mario is coming for dinner next week. He's the family's longtime lawyer, best at digging up things, especially secrets that shouldn't exist. She emphasized the words shouldn't exist, her eyes warning Isabella clearly. You'd better make sure there's nothing for him to dig up. Otherwise, you'll lose everything. And Victor will be shunned by the family because of you. Isabella's heart felt like it was being squeezed by an invisible hand, the pain almost unbearable. Old Mario was Sophia's most trusted bloodhound. He'd worked for the Rossi family since Victor's grandfather's time, ruthless and thorough. If he wanted to find out Emily's true parentage, he would. The consequences would be unthinkable. She'd be thrown out of the Rossi household, Victor would be disgraced, and Emily would be called a bastard. I know what to do, Mother. Isabella's voice trembled, but she forced herself to stay calm. I won't bring trouble to the family. I won't make things hard for Victor. Sophia nodded in satisfaction. She stood up and walked to the floor-to-ceiling window, staring out of the garden. Good. Emily is the Rossi heir. Nothing can go wrong with her. As her mother, it's your duty to protect her and to protect the Rossi name. She turned and left the living room. Her pearl necklace glinted coldly in the sun, like an icy chain wrapped around Isabella's neck. After Sophia left, Isabella sat on the sofa with Emily in her arms, motionless for a long time. Emily had stopped crying. She was pulling at Isabella's hair with her little hands, babbling incoherently. Isabella looked into her daughter's bright blue eyes, her heart filled with guilt and fear. She'd brought Emily into this world, but couldn't give her a true identity, couldn't let her know her real father. She was forcing her to live with lies and secrets. Her phone vibrated suddenly. It was a message from Lucas. I passed a toy store today. Saw a blue rattle. Looks just like Emily's eyes. I bought it. Can I see her? Just for a minute. I promise I won't disturb you. Promise no one will see me. Isabella stared at the message, tears falling silently. She knew Lucas longed to see his daughter, to hold her, to hear her voice. Ever since she told him Victor thought Emily was his, Lucas had rarely contacted her. He only sent occasional messages about the baby, like saw a baby about Emily's age today, so cute, or checked a parenting site. Babies this age can start eating solid food now. He never complained, never accused her. He just cared for them quietly, making her guilt even deeper. But she couldn't see him. She couldn't let him near Emily. Sophia was already suspicious, and old Mario was coming soon. If anyone found out she was still in touch with Lucas, all her lies would collapse. Her fingers trembled as she typed, "Don't contact me again. Sophia is suspicious. Old Mario is coming to the house next week. For Emily's sake, we shouldn't meet or talk anymore. I'm sorry, Lucas. I'm so sorry." After sending the message, Isabella deleted all her chat history with Lucas. She turned off her phone and threw it into the drawer of her nightstand. She was afraid she'd give in, afraid she'd agree to see him, afraid she'd destroy everything. She lay down on the bed and stared at the ceiling, unable to sleep all night. She knew a storm was coming, and she had no choice but to face it. A week later, old Mario arrived at the Rossi house as planned. He wore a dark suit, his tie knotted perfectly. His face was serious, his eyes sharp as an eagle's, ready to pounce on any prey. As soon as he walked into the living room, his gaze fell on Emily. His eyes were sharp with scrutiny, as if inspecting an item. "So, this is Emily? Such a lovely child." Old Mario walked over to Isabella. He bent down to touch Emily's head, but Isabella flinched away instinctively. He paused, then smiled, but the doubt in his eyes grew stronger. "Her hair color is quite unusual. Like a Nordic child. Was your grandmother from the north?" Isabella's heart was in her throat. She forced herself to stay calm. "No, my grandmother was Italian. Her hair was just lighter. It might be a genetic mutation. The doctor said it's quite common." She kept lying, her voice trembling slightly. Old Mario nodded, but didn't press further. Instead, he walked over to Victor and whispered something in his ear. Victor's face instantly turned grim. He glanced at Isabella, then followed old Mario into the study. Isabella's heart sank. She knew old Mario must be questioning Emily's parentage, must be saying something to Victor. Half an hour later, Victor came out of the study. His face was dark with anger. He walked over to Isabella, took her hand, and led her into the bedroom. He closed the door, his voice suppressed with rage. "Old Mario thinks Emily isn't my child. He says her hair and eye color don't match the Rossi genes at all. He wants me to get a paternity test." Isabella's body froze. Her blood felt like it had turned to ice. A paternity test. This was her worst fear. Once the test was done, all her secrets would be exposed. All her lies would fall apart. What did you say?" Her voice trembled, filled with fear. "I refused." Victor's voice was tired, with a hint of hidden pain. "I told him Emily is my daughter. I trust you. We don't need a test. But old Mario said if I don't do it, he'll report it to the family council." They'll investigate, and things will get even worse. Isabella threw herself into Victor's arms, tears pouring out, soaking his shirt. I'm sorry, Victor. I'm so sorry. It's all my fault. I've put you in this terrible position. She wanted to tell him the truth, wanted to beg for his forgiveness. But the words stuck in her throat. She couldn't say them. If she did, their family would be destroyed, and Emily would lose everything deeper, her pain even sharper. That night, Victor didn't go to the office. He stayed home with Isabella and Emily. He read stories to Emily, played with her toys, and smiled gently. But Isabella could see the tiredness and worry in his eyes. She knew Victor was under enormous pressure to protect her and Emily, pressure from old Mario's suspicion and the family council's questioning. Late at night, after Emily fell asleep, Isabella sat beside her bed, staring at her daughter's peaceful face. A firm resolve grew in her heart. She couldn't stay passive anymore. She couldn't let Victor bear this burden alone. She had to find a way to dispel old Mario's doubt, to protect Emily and their family once and for all. The next day, Isabella went to the hospital and found the obstetrician Victor had mentioned. She gave the doctor a large sum of money, asking her to forge a paternity test report, one that proved Emily was Victor's biological daughter. The doctor hesitated at first, saying it violated her professional ethics. But after Isabella begged and pleaded, she finally agreed. A week later, Isabella took the forged paternity test report and gave it to old Mario. The report stated that Emily and Victor had a 99.99% genetic match. They were father and daughter. Old Mario studied the report carefully. The doubt in his eyes gradually faded. He smiled at Isabella. I'm sorry, Bella. I was too suspicious. It seems Emily really is a Rossi. I apologize for doubting you. Isabella let out a long breath, a smile forcing its way onto her face. It's okay, Uncle Mario. I know you were just looking out for the family. I don't blame you. The weight in her heart lifted, but she knew it was only temporary. As long as Emily existed, as long as Lucas was still alive, this secret would always hang over her, ready to be exposed at any moment. That night, Isabella sent Lucas a message. Old Mario's doubt is gone. Emily is safe. Don't worry about us. We'll have a good life. We shouldn't contact each other again, pretend we never met. It's better for all of us, especially for Emily. She knew these words would break Lucas's heart, but she had no other choice. This was the only way to protect everyone. After sending the message, Isabella deleted Lucas's contact information. She erased all photos and messages related to him from her phone. She looked at Emily, who was sleeping soundly, and whispered to Lucas in her heart, I'm sorry, Lucas. Thank you for the warmth you gave me. Thank you for loving Emily. If we'd met in another life, I would never have lied to you, never have missed you. But in this life, this is the only way. I hope you'll be happy. She knew her life was now filled with lies and secrets, and there was no going back. But she didn't regret it because she'd protected Emily, protected their family. She would keep playing the role of Signora Rossi, keep guarding this happiness woven from lies. Even if she had to pay a terrible price in the future, it would be worth it as long as Emily could grow up healthy and happy.